Now, picture this. The year is 1982. Kenya has been awarded the rights to host the All-African Games in Africa, which was the 4th edition, by the way, which because of lack of funds, a couple of political challenges here and there, the competitions are pushed to 1987. And what's the result of that? A winner is crowned out of that. That is a boxing champion. That is Robert Wangila. Today you're going to be hearing about that name a lot because you're going to be talking matters, a lot of boxing on the show tonight. My name is National Ano and welcome to Metropole Sports Center. We're going to continue the conversation about Robert Wangila later on in the show. Away from boxing, the following are just some things that I'm going to be talking about. That is the new Harambee Stars coach, that is Engine Firat, has named a 34-man provisional squad that is going to be representing Kenya in the World Cup qualifier against Mali. Away from that, it's been a busy week in the Kenya Premier League with a couple of players moving to their team. You remember the season has already kicked off and AFC Leopards started to a winning start this past weekend. The following are just the sum of the transfers that have happened in the Kenya Premier League just a few days before the league kicked off. Now, a player that is Mustafa, who previously played for Vihiga United, has officially joined Wazito FC. Karisa Robert Kaindi from Ruiru Hotstars has joined Sofapaka. And then Lennox Ogutu from Mathare United has joined Bidco United. Collins Neto moves from Zoo FC to Bidco United. Frederick Odhiambo from Wazito FC has moved to Sofapaka. Kevin Ouma has moved from Posta Rangers to Ulinzi Stars, and Ezekiel Owade has moved to Bidco United from AFC Leopards. A key name that was synonymous with the Kenya Premier League last season was Cliff Nyakea. He was a star player that was churned out of the Kenya Premier League, has moved from Egypt into Wazito FC. Away from that, Issa Lumumba has joined from St. Anthony Kitale into Kariobangi Sharks, and Patrick Matasi, who had an accident earlier sometime last year, who has recovered and is back to his form, has joined Tusker FC from St. George's in Ethiopia. And finally, Gabriel Wandera has joined Bidco United from Nzoia Sugar. I quickly mentioned that the new Harambee Stars coach, that is Engine Firat, has named a 34-man squad, provisional squad, that is going to be squaring it out in the World Cup qualifiers that Harambee Stars is fighting to book a slot for. The following are just some of the players that have been called in that particular squad. Goalkeepers, that is Ian Otieno, Farouk Shikalo, James Saruni, and Brian Brire. Joseph Stanley Okumu, Joash Onyango, David Odhiambo, Samuel Olwande, Johnston Omurwa, Eugene Asike from Tusker FC, and Frank Odhiambo. Daniel Sakari, David Owino, Abu Domar, Eric Ouma, and Bolton Omwenga are some of the defenders that have been selected for that particular fixture. Important to mention that forwards, that is Michael Olunga, Henry Menja, Sydney Lokale, and Eric Kapaito, who has moved from Kariobangi Sharks to Ethiopia. He made his official transfer complete. I beg your pardon. That is Eric Kapaito has officially moved from Kariobangi Sharks to Ethiopia. Away from that is the new Harambee Stars manager, that is Firat, has a huge task ahead of him, considering that one of the most decorated coaches, that is Jacob Ghost Mulei, was fired, or from a circular that was sent from the Football Kenya Federation, had parted ways mutually with the federation. Seems to have a huge task ahead of him, considering that he is only on a 2-month contract to ensure that Harambee Stars qualify for the Qatar World Cup that is slated to be played next year. At the beginning of the show, I mentioned Robert Wangila, and that is a very legendary boxer in Kenya that was decorated in the early 80s and 90s. Important to mention that Kenya's participation in the boxing world has had its high days during the times of Robert Wangila. Unfortunately, Robert Wangila died in Las Vegas, that is in 1994, after a fight between him and David Gonzalez saw him go into a coma where he passed away 36 hours later. After that, there was a whole conversation on a whole court case that ensued after that on where he was going to be buried. But that's a conversation that you're going to be talking about later on. The following is just some of the fact sheet that I wanted to mention to you to show you or to paint a picture of Kenya's prowess in the boxing arena. The following are just some of the Kenya boxers that represented Kenya in the All-African Games that were played here in Kenya in 1987. The boxing matches were held at the Kenyatta International Conference Center, that is KICC. And the following at the time were known as the Hit Squad, and one of the prominent members in that particular squad was Robert Wangila. The following, that is in the lightweight division, that is David Kamau beat Tewadros Michiku of Ethiopia. Bantamweight Stephen Mwema beat Ndaba Dube of Zimbabwe, and featherweight that is Patrick Wawero beat Charles Lubulwa of Uganda. In the lightweight category, that is John Wanjao beat Haritora Rapotamanga of Madagascar. In the lightweight, in the light flyweight division, that is Maurice Maina beat Emmanuel Nsubuga of Uganda, and Mohamed Urungi beat Martin Nugl of Nigeria. And in the welterweight division, that is Robert Wangila beat Sahelu Mekuria of Ethiopia. In the super heavyweight category, that is Chris, or dare I beg your pardon, beat Shibalala Kadime of Zaire. Robert Wangila also went on into the Seoul Games in 1988 to be the only African to win a gold in that particular tournament. You're wondering, why am I talking about boxing? This is because there's a boxing event that is happening tomorrow in Kangemi, and I'm going to be joined in studio today by Dr. Sami. We are going to be talking about what that particular activity is about after the break. So see you after the break.